Morning YouTube. Okay, yeah it is, no it's afternoon. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is I've got a missing link. This is a smaller version of my normal missing link. This is for a customer that's got a camp and field, and he's off to Africa to do some hunting, so I'm going to be building him a missing link and a camp and field. Missing link will be with my carter or some kind of man-made material, and the camp and field will be with some kind of really nice burl. I'm also going to be doing a kydex sheath wrapped around, a leather wrapped around a kydex sheath for his missing link. Obviously skinning animals and that type of stuff, he's going to need that. Okay, so we'll start. This is RWL34 by the way. I'm going to bring you through most of this, or I'm going to try to bring you through. Hopefully you can see that. I know my arm gets in the way a lot. I'm just putting on a bit of dye. I use the normal bottled stuff, and I also use these applicators. It's just whatever the mood takes me that I grab. I do prefer these, thanks Dan, you know, but I find sometimes they need a couple of coats with these. Don't squeeze too hard or you'll end up like I did with this all over your worktop and on the floor. And what I find with this, especially if I'm in a rush, and I'm not in a big rush but I am in a rush, I want to get these done so we can take them. I haven't got too long. What I do find is that it dries a lot quicker, is what I'm saying. Okay, so we'll just let that dry. Okay, so what I've done to speed up the process, if you've got it, is a compressor with some air, or you buy the cans of air, is use that. And now this is 4" and I'm going to give him a little bit more on this. I'd like to give him 4.5". So I'll just use this template to take it so far, and then I can just use this template to extend the blade a little. Okay. Oh, this is hard with the so I'll just take that to there. Handle will stay the same, handle's fine. Hope you've all had a good week. What we'll do to bring it to about there. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll just extend it out. If I just grab my ruler. That's 4". We want this extended out to 4.5". So we'll extend that to there. If we push that out to about there. Okay. Okay, so I can see that. I don't know, you probably won't, but then the other tool I use, Sandy, if you watch this is the tool I was on about. That tends to speed up the process a lot if you've already got holes in your templates. I'm not sure what it's called, but basically any hole you've got, any size within reason, I'd say to about 20mm maybe. You push that in, it finds its centre, give that a whack, and so mean, this one's not got lots of holes in, but a lot of my holes have got like my lightning hole templates in as well, and I'm going to taper this tang for him. So, and I know somebody asked about tapering tangs, so what I'm going to do is we'll do this one as a taper. What I'll probably do is just take this over now to the over there onto the voice where there's a little anvil, so I can do them holes a little bit better. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just cut this steel down so it's so not unwieldy, as it's a metre long. So right, what I have done, I don't do it so much now, but sometimes if you cut like a triangle out of this section, or cut there and then cut there, that little extra piece there has got me out of trouble a lot of times with having a little bit of extra length. Just think, if you butt another blade up, flip it round the other way, and then you'll have like that shape. You know, that little extra piece up there has just been enough to be able to get me the blank out what I need. I suppose when you water jet these things it doesn't matter, but you know, but a lot of the times now I just cut it straight off. Tiny little bit of steel. There we go. I'll do it so you can see, but I'll try anyway. Okay, there we go. I can put this big long unwieldy thing out of the way. And we'll continue sorting the holes out. I'll continue sorting these holes. I hope you can see that. And the lanyard hole, and 2 lightning holes at the back. Okay, so that's where we're at. Now go to the bandsaw and finish just trimming little bits off. I tend to use the belt an awful lot now as well, just to grind it away. Sometimes it's just, I know it's belts, but the time that it takes fiddling about with the bandsaw, especially if the blade's not, it's a bit dull, you might as well just grind it away. I mean, I absolutely love my bandsaw table. Like I said last time, I know he's doing a new one, but the one downside with it is, I mean, it works great, is that it's not a quick release. So to change your bandsaw blades over, what I've found is you tend to wait a little, a bit longer than you should, because of the rigmarole of getting it out. But once he puts his quick release system in, absolutely perfect. Okay, So we'll go back to the bandsaw, do a tiny bit of trimming, and continue. And I've got to pick the missus up soon. Okay, a lot of the times when I'm grinding these blades out, I use the contact wheel to grind the profiles. This is already on, it's here. I've ground a couple out this morning, so I'm just going to use the platen rather than get the wheel out and do all that. It'll get me something like. But if I'm doing a big batch, like I think I had 6 or 7 to sort out, then I'll use the contact wheel because it keeps the heat down. But because we're just going to do this, hopefully you'll see, it's just a bit of grinding, a bit of sparks. We'll just clean this up a bit, okay? I need my respirator. Okay. Right. It's not just for your lungs. You know, I've had metal go in my eyes now twice. And it's a trip up the hospital. The last time I bumped my car because I couldn't see very well on the way back out. So I've learnt from it 2 times at the hospital with metal stuck in your eye and they have to use a needle to pick it out was enough for me to stop doing it. Okay. Oh, bloody brilliant. Right. Okay, so that didn't take too long, did it really? We've got it somewhat like, you know, I'll refine that now with the contact wheels. Okay, it's time for me to go. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so now we're going to put some holes in. This side. Oh no, you won't. There's no way around this. Okay. Okay, I'll continue doing the holes, just the lightning holes, enlarge the lanyard hole to an 8mm. Okay, so we're going to do sorry, 2 seconds. We'll finish the radii in there now. Okay, just roughly cleaned up. We now got our profile. Hi all. Okay, so the next thing now is for me to do is I'll show you in a second, my surface plate. What I want to do is I want to take this now and make sure before I try and get some of this surface scale off. The first thing I'd like to do excuse me, is before you start rubbing this out, or I put it on the surface grinder and I'll grind it that way, because that makes a difference too. Because what happens is, as you put it on the surface grinder, if it's already warped, as the blade sits on top, as the magnet sucks it down, it will suck the warp out, and you'll grind away, and then when you release the magnetic chuck, the warp's still there. So, I mean, what you can do is you can use the residual magnetism of the magnetic chuck and apply the magnet, let the magnet off, and it will lift it back up, and there's just enough there, and then you very slowly, gently take it off till it becomes flat, then turn it over, pop the magnet on, and you can do it that way. But I mean, right, okay, so I can tell, you might not be able to, but there's a little slight warp in this. Yeah, you can see my face through the gap, I think. Hold on, see if we can sort this out. It wants to focus on me, not the ruler. Ah, there. See it at the top? There's a slight gap in the warp. So what we'll do now is I'll bring you over to the arbor press and I'll show you how I'll get that out. We're at the arbor press. I've turned the blade over opposite the warp, so it's warped that way. So we've turned that over. This is not going to take a lot. Now I made this with adjustable, but you don't have to do this. I mean, there's another way that you can do it with the voice, and you just put it in the voice and you just gently keep bending it, and I do that a lot too. Let me just check to which way the warp is now. Oh dear. Right, okay, so okay. Just gently now, it's not much. I'll just check this. We want a little bit up here, not a lot. That's as good as I'm going to get it. Okay, so we're now at the surface plate. What I'm going to do now is just apply a little bit of WD-40. I've just put some new feathering adhesive on. I've not really given it a chance to settle yet. It's okay, just gently. I will surface grind this, but I want it something light just so I can have a look. This will show me my high spots, my low spots. Need to let this settle more. Excuse me. It's now starting to take off the what comes from the mill scale. I'm not too worried about doing it this way there, because I'm going to taper this tang. If I wasn't, I wouldn't do this so much. So this bit, because I'm tapering this tang, doesn't matter so much. As you can see, I've changed the surface plate of mine around as well. I've gone to my bigger surface plate that I normally keep over there, and I just use my little one now for the measuring side and stuff. This bigger one's definitely it's a better help. It's, you know, quite large, really heavy, substantial, and it's made of metal rather than marble, and it's really flat. Sheets are moving a little. Should have waited longer really, but it is what it is. And okay, so that's a lot of the mill scale off now, and it's starting to look a little bit like a knife, a little. Okay, so next thing, all I'll do with this is I'll knock the 90s off. I'm also working on East Camp and Field, which is about somewhere. I'll knock the 90s off, and that a lot of the times I don't even do that much anymore, if I'm honest with you. I mean, okay, hold on. Let's bring you so I can see you. When you're heat treating stainless steels, this is my opinion. If you think about it, I'll give you my reasonings and why. When you heat treat carbon steel, if you grind all your bevels away first, that's fine, because it's dipping into the oil and it's going to be quenched in the oil. Now when you heat treat with a stainless steel, it's going between two aluminium plates, and then obviously mine goes into nitrogen. But when it goes between them two aluminium plates and you've ground a full flat away, and so you've now got a triangle like that, when you then put your knife down on the plates, just like with D2 or any stainless or anything that goes between two plates, if you've ground your blade away first, that bevel is then not touching the aluminium plate, because all that's going to touch basically is the top portion here, and the rest of it is up off the aluminium plate. So therefore the whole point of sticking your knife in these aluminium plates is to draw the heat out very quickly, which will bring it down at the right rate to do your heat treat. Well, if that aluminium plate is not touching that bevel, how can it draw the heat out of it? Because it's not even touching it, is it? This is touching it, the non-important bit, the handle, but the most important bit, you know, the flats of the knife are not in contact with the aluminium plate. So, you know, that can't really, then the aluminium can't really draw the heat out. It will still draw some out, but it's not going to draw it out like if it's completely flat on the aluminium plates. That's why we put them in the aluminium plates. And then, you know, and then into the nitrogen. Now, if you're sending them away and they're being heat treated in a, you know, in a controlled furnace, excuse me, sorry about that, that's then done in an oxygen controlled environment, and you know, then it doesn't matter, you can grind your bevels away and it will be done within there, and that's great. But when you're plate quenching, I mean, some might, you know, say it's wrong or I'm wrong, I don't know, but when I think about it practically, and when I think about what the plates are trying to do and what they're there to do, for me, I can't see, yes, it's going to take a lot more belts by me grinding, you know, not grinding the blade away first, but that's something I'm prepared to sacrifice, an extra 2 or 3 belts, so I'll get a superior heat treat. For me, you know, I can't see how them plates can do what they're supposed to do when they're not touching the aluminium. You know, if somebody can, you know, if I'm wrong, or, you know, somebody could put in the comments box or something their thoughts on this process. But to me, that's, you know, we put the blade onto these plates so that it can draw the heat out, which will bring it down fast enough to heat treat the blades. You know, and then I'll go one more step and mine goes into liquid nitrogen and refines the grain structure even more. But that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I know there's a lot that do it and grind the bevels off first, and you know, and then put them between plates and stuff, and more power to you. If it works great for you and you stick it on your Rockwell tester and you're getting the results that you want, then great. For me, I'm just not happy to do that. I have to sacrifice more belts so that I'll get a better heat treat. That's my philosophy on that anyway. I hope that makes sense, and I'd like to read some of the comments and your thoughts and tell me what you think. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to take you through my heat treat process of the RWL34. That's, you know, that's part of what I do, and you know, there's information out there and, you know, stuff. I mean, okay, so, but what we'll do is when that's all finished and that, I'll take you through and we'll grind the bevels and we'll put the handles on and show you about to do get into the plunges when we come to hand sand, and we'll do all that, and then we'll build the sheaths. We'll build a sheath with a Kydex sheath with leather wrapped round, and we'll go through all that too. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this little series and stuff, and then I know at some point in soon we'll have Mike here, and we're going to do a great video on the Fieldmaster's conception from start to finish, and look at the way I go about building them. And for the people that purchase and own them, you know, you can see how your knives are built. I'll be starting another batch again next week, but like I say, these knives are very important that I get these out on time for this customer to take to Africa. Okay, take care all, bye for now.